Greetings viewers, as you can tell by the video title, this is a follow-up to my first contact mag video. That video sort of, in its own sense, with my smaller audience, blew up overnight and a comment war ensued with people sharing their opinions and going back and forth and either telling me I'm wrong or telling someone else they're wrong. So I thought I would just make a video kind of addressing some of those issues and letting you know about some upcoming videos to look forward to in regards to some of the issues that were raised. So something that I noticed reading some of the comments is that there are people out there that either don't actually watch videos before commenting, or they're not actually paying attention to what's being said after watching the video before going to the comments section and typing fervently, putting their experience and their thoughts and opinions out there and telling everybody they're wrong. One of the things that I would again like to clarify here in regards to that video, I specifically said that the 100-round drums, which there's only one that I'm aware of, and unless there's another that I'm confused about, please let me know. But that thing is trash. It's not reliable. It's also extremely bulky and heavy. The other thing that I specifically stated in the video, and I don't know if maybe people are more visual learners like I am, and me just sitting here behind the table talking about it and not actually showing stuff, so hence why I'm wearing what I'm wearing right now, to make it make a little bit more sense. As you can see, I have 30-round magazines strapped to my chest. They do have extensions on them, but they are just standard 30-round Lancer magazines. The intent of the video was referring to the magazine that is actually in your weapon. So again, first contact. Regardless of what you're doing with your weapon and your equipment during the time when you are involved in some sort of firefight, my recommendation was having in this instance, a D60 Magpul magazine in your primary weapon system. Obviously this would apply more to the 5.56 crowd here with the D60 Magpul 5.56 drum magazine only in the weapon itself. So again, visual representation of what I was saying. Some people seem to have interpreted that as me saying load yourself up with these things and go run around and prosper. So just to clear that up, first contact mag, not entire D60 loadout. So perhaps maybe that clears some things up. Again, you have no idea what situations you're going to run into, and being more prepared for them, the better off that you are. So this is why people have things such as go bags and bug out bags, and you're prepared and you have supplies. Whether it's stuff that you don't ever need, that's great. But if you need it and you don't have it and you're kicking yourself, probably not the best time for that. It's also pretty evident that there are a lot of people out there that have never been ambushed with an M249 saw gunner in their squad, and it shows. Let me look at some of the direct quotes that I have here. So, bulky, unwieldy, and not maneuverable. So I'm not sure if, again, anybody has ever been around a saw gunner with one 200-round belt loaded in the weapon and a 500 to 600 round total loadout of ammunition. If you want to talk about bulky and unwieldy and slow and unmaneuverable, you should probably go talk to that guy. And for some reason, I'm not sure why it is, but the saw gunner always seems to be the smallest guy in the squad. But maybe you all have your own experiences with that. So I'm pretty sure if somebody's able to hump that stuff around, that you can carry around a rifle with 160-round magazine in it and survive. Again, as I mentioned in the video, your physical fitness personally is going to be what affects whether you can even do that or not. If you have zero cardio and zero strength, and you again think that you're going to load yourself down with all this gear and all this ammo and all this cool shit attached to your gun and run around and be Rambo or John Wick or whoever you imagine yourself to be, I'm telling you again right now, it's not going to happen. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to wish that you stayed home and played Fortnite or Call of Duty or Escape from Tarkov or whatever it is that gave you these illusions of grandeur, that think you're going to be a one-man strike force with all this stuff you're going to haul around, and you don't have the physical ability to actually do so. So the thing with any of my videos, regardless if it's the first contact mag video or a review on a flashlight or a review on a particular gun, it's all personal opinion. You're coming to my channel to watch my videos, to see me talk about things that I have in my possession and my thoughts and my opinions and my experiences on it. If you're coming to the comments section and you're telling me that I'm wrong for my opinion, that would be the same thing as you telling me your favorite color is red and I tell you you're wrong. There's no wrong answer. If you disagree, that's fine. We can disagree. So again, if I want to load a D60 mag in my rifle and keep 30-round mags on my chest, and you want to put a 20 or 30-round mag in your gun with 30-round mags on your chest, great. Who cares? Do your thing. I'm going to do mine. You're going to do yours. And hopefully, in either situation, neither one of us are going to ever actually end up needing to put our theories to the test, and you won't end up wishing that you had more capacity in your initial mag, and I won't be wishing that I had a smaller mag because dang, this thing is heavy and unmaneuverable and unwieldy in whatever given situation that I'm in. However, I can tell you as to this day, I have yet to run into any issues where a D60 has caused me so much pain and grief and misery and discomfort and unmaneuverability that I've stopped using them. So just to flex on the haters a little bit, this is a Mark 47 with a 75 round, I believe, Chinese drum in it. I'm not an AK expert. There's no markings on it for me to verify that claim, but I'm pretty sure it's Chinese made. 75 rounds. You want to talk about heavy? This thing is pretty hefty. 30 cal ammo, 75 rounds instead of 60 in a bigger, beefier gun. Another hefty option, D50, 308. 50 round magazine in a SCAR 17. Probably not the easiest, lightest rifle to maneuver in the world with that magazine choice. So all of a sudden, carrying these and running and gunning with them, that D60 is a kind of a welcome sight in terms of weight and maneuverability and running and gunning. I noticed one of the things that a lot of people were mentioning in the video was reliability. It didn't really occur to me just simply because I have several D60s laying around that the price is probably a huge turnoff. Anybody that would be like, man, I want to get those, sees the $120 price tag and they're like, well, you know what, that 10 pack of 30 round mags doesn't seem so bad after all. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But because of the lack of people that have them or have used them or tried them, and it's not just something that's out of reach, or you know, you don't want to spend that money, kind of like spending $1,200 on an optic and then you're like, you know what, this is kind of a piece of crap, and then taking a loss trying to get rid of it. So it makes perfect sense. And again, repeated over and over in many comments was reliability, reliability, reliability. Now I know that in my personal experiences, I have in this exact magazine that's right here in this rifle, I have at least 3,000 rounds through this magazine alone, and I have had 0 malfunctions out of it. And that is without even opening it. I haven't cleaned it. I haven't touched it. I have done absolutely nothing with it. I took it out of the box, I've loaded it, and I've trained with it over and over and over and over. And I've dropped it in the dirt and kicked it around, and it's banged around in my gear and my vehicle for quite some time now, and I have had absolutely 0 issues with it. Again, some of you may have different experiences. However, this whole thing has brought light to an idea for me, and I'm going to be doing some torture testing and comparing and reviewing of magazines and just kind of putting them head to head, and we are going to kind of abuse them a little bit, and we are going to see which one either comes out on top, which one fails. Maybe we'll be surprised, maybe we won't. Maybe I'll have 0 results at the end of the day, or maybe we'll have some sort of groundbreaking experience that'll shatter the gun community as a whole, and everybody will clutch their pearls and OMG. We'll do some testing and we'll see what happens. And maybe again, it'll be good results or bad results. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two. So in specific, like I said, on my chest here, I have Lancer magazines. I'm a big fan of these. Combination of polymer and steel. I've had no issues. I've had 0 issues with the Magpul PMags that are all polymer. Had 0 issues with the D60. Again, reliability is harped upon, and I get it. I would not want to put my life on something that I was not sure about. So again, I want to make some videos going forward and kind of test those things. So in regards to the unmaneuverable and unwieldy claims, like I'm just trying to envision a situation where, again, this is because of my personal experience, and I have had no issues. So I assume that the people that are saying these things have not actually tried one of these magazines. And again, going back to the cost issue, that makes sense. Are you really getting that much benefit or value out of having 60 rounds in one magazine? Well, if it's reliable, sure, that in my opinion, say yes. You, in your opinion, may say no. Again, 2 30-round mags coupled together, or even heck, 2 40-round mags coupled together can be a great option. You can get a really quick reload. May again not be as fast as just continuing to pull the trigger, but it's also one more step that you could fumble. You go to drop the mag out to swap, your hands are bloody, they're covered in mud, dirt, water, mag slips out of your hands, some of the rounds have slid forward, you can't get them jammed in there, and you're struggling and you're having issues. Well, you can avoid all that by just continuing to fire, drop this mag, and continue. Now, the way that this magazine was designed was for it to have the similar length profile to the Magpul 30-round magazine. So I have one of those here. And just for comparison's sake, I'm going to hold this up to the point where this would stick out of the mag well. And as you can see, they are the exact same length. So in terms of talking about going prone or having any sort of other issue where the length of the magazine is going to cause you some problems, that is not an issue. And they factored that in when they designed this thing, was they did not want the profile to be any longer than a 30 round PMag. Now, the 40 rounder, let's go ahead and pop that out. This is definitely going to be a little bit longer. When it comes to issues of going prone, yes, you are going to have some problems with this. So if you are simply standing, running and gunning, you're doing competition, you're clearing your house with it, some sort of CQB, you're not worried about being in a compact prone position, there's nothing wrong with this. Yes, the added length could potentially cause issues flapping into gear or other items around you. If you're maneuvering in a vehicle, obviously slinging the seatbelt over, probably a higher likelihood of getting caught. But again, that's going to be something that's going to be determined by you, whether that's an optimal decision to go with or not. Now, where these exceed in the area that the D60 does not, is actually placing them into a mag pouch on your plate carrier. So if I pop one of these out and drop this bad boy in there, you can see that it does not stick up that much farther. Now, depending on what kind of gear you have on here, I know a lot of people like to run the little tactical toolbox tray thing for your phone or GPS or whatever other gadgets and gizmos you have on there, which I also think is funny because many of the people that complain about bulk and all this extra stuff, if you look at their plate carriers and their helmets and the rifles and all the other stuff that they've got strapped on and attached and plugged into different places, and then they turn around and talk about how unwieldy this is, it just kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Anyway, it would be an optimal option. You don't have to run 30 rounders. You can run 40 rounders in your plate carrier, again, depending on you and your physical conditioning and your gear setup and where you have everything. That is another option. You could have a D60 in your rifle and 3 40 round mags on your plate carrier. Some of you may be familiar with the term force multiplier, but anything you can do to give yourself an advantage over your opponent is going to be good. You do not know what you are going to be faced with when the time comes that you are going to have to throw your gear on and sling some lead. If you can see the future, please message me because I'd like to talk to you about the next large Powerball jackpot numbers. So hit me up and let's become best friends. Anyways, for those of you that are not clairvoyant and can't see the future, why, again, would you not prepare? Why do you even keep a loaded gun? Because you're probably not going to need it anyway. You're probably going to be outgunned. You're probably going to be caught unaware, and it's not going to do you any good, and you're just going to give the bad guy your stuff. So why be prepared at all? So why not be more prepared? Why not have a little bit more stuff than potentially the enemy might have? And again, your circumstances may differ depending on where you live. It may not be an option. So you're just watching this video and it's a pipe dream wishing that you could have these things. So at the end of the day, again, like I said, this is all personal preference. This is all my personal opinion. It's all your personal opinion. It's all your physical conditioning versus mine and what you think is good for you and what I think is good for me. All I'm doing is sharing my opinions and thoughts and experience and training with you. You can take it and you can do whatever you want with it. You can like something. You may like the idea of 40 rounders on your chest, but not a D60 period. You don't want to be anywhere near one of those things because you've heard from your uncle's neighbor's cousin that drums are bad. Fine. I can't change your mind. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. But again, what I can do is in a future video, I can put a D60 head to head and we're going to do some torture testing of mags and we're going to see what happens. And again, maybe I will be apologizing to you and groveling and asking for your forgiveness after touting the D60 as the greatest gift known to weapons, or perhaps I'll just go, huh, that's what I've been saying all along. Now, the last thing that I wanted to bring up was dump pouches. Several people commented, again, number one, because of the cost of the mag, they didn't want to risk leaving it on the ground. Now, I can tell you, if you are in a firefight for your life, that if you're telling me that your life is not worth more than $123 and dropping that mag on the ground and running away and never seeing it again is worth you being alive, thinking, man, I wish I would have grabbed that thing, then I don't know what to tell you at that point. Because if it kept you alive and got you out of a jam, then I feel like it earned its cost there a little bit. So I'm gonna reset the camera up and we're gonna take a look at a dump pouch, and I'm gonna stick some mags in there and we're gonna see what it looks like. All right, so the dump pouch that you use may differ from this one. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this one is made by Condor. I've tried several different ones. This one is fairly newer, but I think I'm digging it. One of the very few things that I dislike about HSGI is their dump pouch. I like that it's mesh. I like that all the junk falls through it. But unfortunately, just the opening on that thing drives me absolutely nuts, and I am not a fan. So this one I kind of like. So it has kind of a wide mouth. This does open up a little bit. It's got this drawstring center portion here where you can cinch down as tight as you need it to be. I just have it kind of more of a medium opening. I can cinch this down a little bit as needed. So let's take a look at the different mags. Obviously, we've got our standard 30-round mag, drops right in, absolutely perfect. 40-round mag, no different, drops in. You can just barely see the top of it sticking out, but as you're wrestling around and moving, this will kind of slide over. It goes up underneath the outer edge here, and as you're shoving more stuff in there, and it keeps it contained. This thing is nice and long. As you can see, we have plenty of space in here to cover the length of the 40-round mag. So theoretically, we would not have anything in here if this is our first contact mag. We've either run this thing dry or we're doing a tactical reload and we want to retain it. But obviously, this is not going to fit in any of our mag pouches and probably not going to want to be running around with this in a cargo pocket. So logically, we would dump it in our dump pouch. So I'm even going to put it in here this way, whereas the mag itself is not lined up with the slot. I'm going to set it on top of here. And in order to make it not look like I'm doing any sort of movie magic to make this look better to benefit my point, this thing will fit down in here. If I just simply use my finger and give it a little bit of a push, it goes in. So if you're shoving it in, it's going to fit in there just fine. It's going to go down there. You're going to follow up with some other mags. Throw a 30-rounder in there. Throw a 40-rounder in there. And that's going to probably stick up a little bit. We are hitting that. But again, as your stuff jumbles and jostles around, this lining will cover it up, and all three of these mags are now stuffed down in there without any issue. And the chances of these things popping out, maybe the 40-rounder coming up a little bit, but you're not going to have any issues, and it goes in just fine. Again, your mileage may vary depending on your gear and what dump pouch you're running, or depending on how tight you have this thing, or if you are having issues with it, just loosen this up a little bit so you have some more wiggle room to shove that drum in there. I mean, this isn't rocket science, it's a dump pouch. So one might assume that because this drum is huge and bulky and unwieldy and unmaneuverable, that you couldn't do something as simple as conducting a tactical reload with it. Especially if you have that dump pouch, you've got somewhere to store it. We know that it'll fit. So can we actually do that to get it in there without just dumping this thing on the ground and hauling tail? So let's test that theory out, shall we? So we've got our rifle, we've got our D60 inserted in, we've cranked a bunch of rounds off, we don't know how many, we don't know if we're gonna have to shoot again, a little bit concerned about how much ammo may be left in here. I wanna get this thing in my dump pouch, there's a lull in the shooting, I need to get my get a fresh mag in here so I know how many rounds I have left. I can sort out the count later. So, bring my gun up into my workspace, retrieve my magazine that I am replacing. I am holding the mag with 2 fingers. I've got it pinched with my thumb and my index finger. These other 3 fingers are open along with the end of my thumb. Grab a hold of the drum, release it, insert my 30-rounder. Guess what? I now have possession of my drum to place into my dump pouch or toss in a vehicle. Wherever I'm going to put it, I have that available, and it is possible to change mags. If I want to do the same thing in reverse, I can't reach my fingers across here, but what I can do is I can leave myself some space to fit the 30-rounder in here and do the same thing. Again, you're just going to have to change your grip to be able to accommodate. I don't know why you would be swapping back to this if perhaps this was your last mag, you knew you had rounds left in it, and you could toss it back in your weapon and stow your other mag. So again, that is something that's possible. Are you going to have a little bit bigger hands? Probably so, but again, that is going to depend on you. And you, as I've stated multiple times in this video and the last one, you are going to have to train with your gear. I can't tell you what's going to work for you. I can give you suggestions. I can make videos and say, this is what works for me, or this is what I like, or this is what I don't like. And you can say, well, I'm going to try it. And if it works for you, great. Then you have something new you can use. If it doesn't work, sorry, you'll have to find something else or adapt and overcome and come up with some sort of new piece of equipment or tactic or something to get things to work for you the way that they may work for other people. So I think that's going to about do it for this follow-up video. If you think I missed anything or didn't touch on anything, then please feel free to let me know down below. Hopefully there will not be another comment war. And if there is, well, I appreciate the viewership and the engagement on the videos. Whether they are liked or disliked, it's all the same to me. Again, I'm just some guy on the internet sharing my opinions and thoughts and experience and training with you. So anyways, hopefully you found something useful in the video. Please let me know down below if there's anything I can do to make any of my videos better, or if there's a specific topic that you would like to see me cover. But with that, I am going to call the video here, so thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.